Greetings, peers and queers. Welcome back to another episode of Monday through Friday. My name is JC. It has been quite a while since we've spoken. So let me tell you exactly what happened during the time that I was away. My girlfriend and I had split up. She had moved out. My girlfriend dumped me. She moved out. And after about a week of being here by myself, I got in touch with our mutual ex, my girlfriend and I's mutual ex, because we were together in a throuple for a little bit. Our boyfriend had separated from us back in April of 23 during the Aries eclipses. And I reached out to him because I had been thinking about him quite a bit. I reached out to him. His first reaction and the first words he messaged back were, "Why?" Question mark, just why? After messaging back and forth for quite a while, it had dawned on both of us that we have been on each other's minds for quite some time. 6 months had separated us since he had moved out. So to sum it up, my girlfriend had moved out and my once ex and future boyfriend was moving back in. And he did. In fact, the day after he moved back in, he and I helped her move the final bits of her furniture out of the apartment. It was a bit awkward. She had asked me, "Hey, are you talking to our ex again?" And I told her flat out, I'm like, "That's no longer your business. You wanted to end it. It's none of your concern." So the day that she had planned for coming in and picking up all of her items and furniture that she had left over, the final day of her move, she was greeted by our mutual ex. And she had told me personally, "I'm going to have an army of people to help me move. Just wait, see how the community reaches out to me, and I'm going to have all these people helping me move." 2 people showed up. 2 gentlemen showed up for her. One of them came upstairs and was helping with some of the light stuff. The other gentleman stayed out in the truck. He had the moving truck. It was his right to. Plus, I believe he had a cat allergy and couldn't handle the dander and the dust. But she expressed disappointment that she couldn't find enough people to help, and it ended up being both myself and my boyfriend helping her move the majority of her items out of the house. And that was a new experience. That was a bit odd. Before I started messaging him and after she moved out, I had tried to drown my sorrows. I went to the bar 3 times. The first time was the night that she came home late and she's like, "I am leaving you." And I'm like, "All right." And she's like, "Do you have any issues with me leaving you?" And I'm like, "I'm not going to keep you hostage." And then through the door comes a guy I've never met before. This is the guy who she was moving in with. Okay. And then I had gone out with a new group of friends that night. Thank you very much to Cora and the rest of you folks. Thank you so much for being there when I needed it. I know I haven't been especially vocal, but I've had a lot on my plate lately. The second time I had gone out, I had a brief hookup because there's no way better to get over somebody than to get under somebody. So I had brought somebody home, and lo and behold, their egg cracked. So I brought another fledgling trans girl home. And then the third night I went out, I had gone to a bar. It was a bar from my past that I used to go to. Nothing really much happened the first hour or 2. I was by myself. A gentleman did come over. He's like, "Hey, let me buy you a drink. You look a little bit lonely." I'm like, "Great." We started talking, start hitting it off. And then as I finished my drink, I'm like, "So where are we going from here?" Because I was single. And he's raises his hand and he's like, "Engagement ring. I gotta go. I'm only at the bar because she threw me out tonight, but, we're gonna make it work." All right, c'est la vie. I appreciate the company. He takes off. Later on, the music arrives. 2 DJs. The camera just fell. All right. Short time after that, the musical entertainment for the night arrives. Turns out I know the DJs. The one DJ is my friend Randy, who I used to work with at a machine shop. And then the other one is my friend Roach, who I used to hang out with. We traveled in the same circles. During my first, I'll say it, during the first couple of threesomes that I had with these 2 individuals, these 2 guys, it was one of the nights I was hanging out and spending the night. I had gone downstairs to get some water because I was dehydrated for reasons, and I wasn't wearing anything. I stepped downstairs, and then there's Roach, and they came down shortly thereafter. They're like, oops, sorry about that. He comes over sometimes. We just hang out. Okay, no problem. Roach has seen me naked, albeit that was years ago. But Randy and Roach are there. And I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, oh, we're DJs. We formed this DJ duo a couple of years ago. I'm like, excellent. Randy was like, so how you been? I heard you're going by JC now. He knew my dead name, but he also knew enough to just ask me outright, JC's all right? And I'm like, yes, it is. We talked. We caught up a little bit. We got to the part of the conversation where he's like, how's your brother doing? Have you talked to him? And I'm like, no, I haven't. In fact, my brother and I haven't talked since I came out as trans, November of 2020. I told my brother, I'm like, hey, just so you know, I think I might be trans. And he basically told me to never speak to him again. Okay. That was the last time that we talked, roughly 3 years ago this month. Randy's like, hey, no problem. I understand. Your brother's a bit of a prick. Everyone that's in our friend group kind of agrees your brother is a prick, but you look awesome and I'm glad you're doing well. And I'm like, thank you. I hang out there at the bar listening to the 2 DJs, hanging out with Randy's wife for a little bit. Somebody starts ordering shots for the house, shots for the bar. They were tequila shots. I had 3, not counting the amount of drinks that I had since the 2 hours I had been there. Apparently, because I'm still without a vehicle, I announced to everyone in the friend group, I'm like, hey, I'm going to be going home now. I'm going to walk home. And as I turned about face to start heading out the door, I slipped and I fell. And that's when I did this. I chipped my tooth. It doesn't hurt. It didn't hit a nerve, but it just looks weird. I'm very nervous about being on camera now with it being like this. But you know what? Enough time has passed. I needed to get over it. So after this little bit of humble pie, which, by the way, the bar owner and the DJ got me home safely. I was intoxicated, but I was able to tell them where I lived and get my keys out of my pocket. They brought me inside. They made sure I was okay and stuff. Thank you very much. I really mean it. Randy especially, thank you. It was a couple days after that I had been posting, I miss my boyfriend. I miss my ex. And some of my friends on Facebook encouraged me to just go ahead and reach out to him. If you need this closure, if you feel like you need him back in your life, just reach out to him. I did, and he felt the same way. He felt like he missed me too. And we've been together since. That is the good part of it. Having him back in my life is absolutely the good part of it. In fact, I've been enjoying myself just hanging out with him. Just being together, watching videos, playing games, playing Dungeons and Dragons, watching Smosh, cooking, going out to eat, going to Goodwill. We've had a great time. And I missed doing this. I missed YouTube. But I didn't feel like appearance-wise, I could have made this work again. And also, my job at the time, I was working at a gas station, was really getting to me. Psychologically, it was really getting to me. At the behest of my boyfriend, he's like, hey, you know what? Why don't you just go ahead and quit? You can come, you can work with me over at the pizza joint across the street. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. I put my 2 weeks notice in at the gas station, dressed like this.
If you have to leave them with a smile. And if you're quitting your job, you better dress like a clown.
So yeah, I went in. I figured if they're going to treat me like a clown, I'm going to dress like a clown. Side note, shortly after that, I kind of fell into the whole clown girl thing. I don't know if you've noticed this, but like clowncore and clown girls are kind of becoming a hot topic right now. And I fell deep into it. Like a lot of my makeup when we were going out started being like the diamonds, the teardrops, the nose and all that stuff, to the point where my boyfriend's like, hey, that's it. We're going to get some tennis balls. We're going to practice how to juggle. He picked it up right away. He's like, oh, this is super easy. I still can't do it, but I'm able to do pretty elaborate balloon animals, so I'm just going to stick with that. I've known how to do balloon animals for a while. For 2 years, I was a birthday clown. And I learned how to do balloon animals, but I never learned how to juggle. And it's kind of a joke to him. He's rubbing it in, and he's like, oh, what kind of clown doesn't know how to juggle? I'm like, this clown bitch. But yeah, I ended up quitting my job. I came in the day before Halloween. I had already spoken to all my coworkers like, hey, I'm getting ready to get out of here. There's a few issues that I have with the management here. They agreed. We had been without an air conditioner since late August. And, oh, well, that's not that bad. August through October, early November. Those are the cool months. Okay, have you ever been in a car in direct sunlight when the windows are up? It gets warmer inside than it is outside, regardless of temperature. And a gas station, perfectly sealed off with just one doorway, but a lot of windows that can't open, gets awfully warm too, especially if you're hustling it, running back and forth, putting things where they need to go, or getting items for customers. It's a lot. We had one coworker who was up there in age and had a few health problems, and she had to be in the 90 plus temperatures. And then we had another coworker who had mentioned to the manager that they did not have the ability to sweat through some kind of flaw in their skin and pituitary glands. They were unable to sweat. And it was a health hazard. Nothing was done. What we heard is, oh, I already told corporate they're going to get it fixed probably in 2 months when it gets cold out. And indeed, we didn't see anybody come in to work on the unit until the 23rd of October. This happened the second to last week of August that the AC went out. Customers were coming in frequently saying, oh, why is it so hot in here? And meanwhile, we're there for 8 hours plus dying, being like, I can't take this anymore. There was no soap in the ladies' restroom, and our staff was primarily women. There was no soap in the ladies' restroom because we had lost the key to open the soap dispenser. What happens? My manager is just like, oh, we'll make do. It'll turn up eventually. I go to the store and I get a little hand pump of soap, like a little like soap dispenser, and I'm like, hey, you know what? Let's use this because employees must wash hands. So that happened. I put all of this on my resignation letter, which was a full 8x11 sheet, being like, these are the reasons why I'm leaving. And oh yeah, by the way, I'm not the last one to be leaving. I'm just the first one. Because indeed, I had spoken to a few of my coworkers and they're like, I'm also getting out of here. We had 3 people on days and 3 people on nights. To put that into perspective, 2 people have to be running the store at any given time. And there's only a day shift and a night shift. So 2 people are on, 1 person's off. 2 people are on, 1 person's off. No one had weekends off. There was no one to cover for weekends. So it's like you're either working Friday, Saturday, or you're working Saturday, Sunday. The only one who had weekends off the entire year was our manager. She was the only one that didn't have to work weekends. Go figure. I also made some mix CDs about a whole bunch of songs saying, hey, I quit, I'm out of here. Thanks for the memories, that kind of stuff. With a theme of a circus. I made copies, one for each one of my coworkers. And the day that I came in dressed like a clown with my resignation letter, not only was my manager there, but my district manager was there as well. And I'm like, it's a good thing I made copies. You each get one. They read that, and guess what? The next day, they start working on the AC. They start fixing the broken tiles that the employees had to walk on behind the counter. Their soap dispenser got changed. You'd be surprised at all the stuff that they start fixing in the store after HR got a hold of that hold of my resignation record. I meant to put in my 2 weeks, but the new job was like, hey, can she start a little bit sooner? And my boyfriend's like, yep. So I started 1 week into my 2 weeks notice. I cannot be hired back at that gas station brand. I cannot be hired back to them because I broke the 2 weeks notice. Oh, well, I'm working at a pizza joint. I am still learning how to do my job at the pizza joint. I'm making a little more money, but I'm working a few less hours. So it kind of pans out. But I'm still learning how to do my job and how to speed up, get better at applying the right sauces, the right ingredients. I'm learning how to run the ovens and the computer systems. And slowly but surely, I'm learning how to do the end of shift and the opening procedures. My boyfriend works there. I'm like, hey, do you think it's a good idea that both of us work there? You know, like partners working at the same place. It's like, what did you do today, honey? You know what I did. You were there. It creates a little too much familiarity and also a little bit of like disdain. Like absence makes the heart grow fonder. And also, what are we going to talk about? You know, like we're going to talk about pizza and we're going to see the same people day in and day out. So I'm like, are you sure you want to do this? And he's like, oh yeah, absolutely. It's been about 2 weeks since since I started working there. And already I'm like, I don't know if this is for me. And he's like, you know what? Take some time. I'll cover your shift. Just think about it. It's good money. It's close to home. I'm like, all right, I'll think about it some more. So I'm really working on that and trying to be more positive. One of the big reasons why I stopped making videos when I did is because I kind of saw the writing on the wall that my girlfriend and I were getting ready to split. And all the videos I was making up until a certain point just got more and more negative. And that's not what I want to put out there into the universe. I originally made this channel because I want to be like a big sister to my fellow trans women. I want to be like Auntie JC, or I want to be like, Big Sister JC. If I can help you out with a little bit of my experience and what I ran into during this whole crazy thing of transitioning, good. If I can help in any way, awesome. I have helped about 4 different individuals that I know with the name change process since I put out information on name changing. They're like, hey, can you help me? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Also, I'm helping out people close to me, people in my community. Turns out that the child of my Aunt Sue, is non-binary. So I'm helping with the non-binary video. And then also their partner is a trans woman. And like, she can also like use my videos to help out here and there as well. So I'm like, okay, I am making a difference. This is good. This is what I wanted. Recently, my boyfriend's like, hey, you should probably go into this gas station next to us and get like a soda or a Monster or something like that. There's somebody that you need to meet. I go in there and then there's a younger trans woman. She's in her early 20s. And she's like, my name tag says this. I'm like, forget what a name tag says. What's your name? And then she's like, this is my name. I'm like, awesome. And now like the whole crew over at the pizza joint refer to her by her name. My boyfriend and I ran into her over at our pharmacy. I was picking up Spiro. She was there with her aunt and she was trying to get started with her medications. Spiro, estradiol, that kind of stuff. I got to help her out a little bit there. She had it handled. Don't get me wrong. She's already got the voice. She's living it. She's already, started HRT and stuff like that. But a little bit of like a, hey, this is kind of new to me, or I need a little bit of confidence. It's like confidence boost. You got it. But it was, more importantly, it's just great to see another trans person in the flesh. Yes, we can talk on the internet, most of us do, to great extent, but it was awesome being able to be like, I see you, you're in the community, you're here in our neighborhood, I'm not alone, you're not alone. There's more of us out there. Visibility, that is a big part of why I do this. I want to be positive. I want to be someone you can look up to, or at the very least, someone who can help you. If you or somebody that you love or care about is coming out as trans, is dealing with issues of gender identity or sexuality, that's why I'm here. I'm here to help with that process. I'm here to help with some of the mystery involved. People are going to do research on what they don't know, what they don't understand, if they're entering a new field, if they're going into uncharted territory. Hopefully I can be the map that you need. If I help in any way, shape, or form, that's fantastic. And that's the reason why I'm coming back to YouTube. That, and also I really needed a creative outlet. Now that things have settled, my boyfriend and I are both comfortably living together and money is no longer an issue. And now that I have left a job that was really stressing me out and I'm starting a new one, by the way, I'm still learning how to do this job. I hate being a novice. I much rather be the teacher or the wise sage. And learning something new is scary for me. It makes me feel small. It makes me feel uncertain. And it makes me afraid. But just the fact that he's there and the people I work with are like, no, JC, you got it. You're doing a great job. It's going to take time. I want to take that energy. And I want to put it back into this channel and our community. Like, you got this. It's going to take a little time. Just like learning a new job or learning a new trade, it's going to take some practice. You could do all the research that you want, but living it day to day is where the real magic happens. And then eventually, like me, you get there and it just comes naturally. I think I'm going to end it there. I don't have a set schedule when these videos are going to start to get posted. Like I said, I'm still getting used to my new job, but this is a start. And a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. So that's what this is. This is me coming back to it. Please leave a comment down below. I will be going through some of the comments that I got while I was away. And if there's any that I need to get back to right away, I will try to do so in video. And again, thank you all very much for watching. I love each and every one of you. Until next Other than that, thank you all very much for watching. I love each and every one of you. Bye.